Actually, I take that back. I'm talking to you men who like Interstellar. All of a sudden, she's supposed to be ugly. Don't get me started on Funny Girl. I'm very passionate about this in case you haven't noticed. Hello and welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kayla. I am a Canadian actress based in Toronto. For today's video, we will be reacting to Anne Hathaway sitting down with Vanity Fair and talking about some of her roles. Anne Hathaway is another one of those actresses that I really admire. She has such a wide range of characters that she's played. She's done really fun and kind of nostalgic, iconic films like Ella Enchanted, The Devil Wears Prada, of course, and The Princess Diaries. But alongside that, she's also had some really emotionally heavy roles that are very character-driven as well. And of course, she won an Oscar for Les Mis, which, whether you like musicals or not, you cannot deny how incredible that performance was. She's also been in some huge blockbuster hits like The Dark Knight Rises and, of course, Interstellar. And have we talked about Brokeback Mountain? Like, she has done so many incredible films. All that to say, I'm definitely a huge fan. With all that being said, let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Anne Hathaway, and today I will be rewatching scenes from throughout my career.
Starting off with The Princess Diaries. I wasn't sure if they were going to start off with Princess Diaries or maybe Ella Enchanted, but I mean, Princess Diaries was so iconic, so good, so quotable, so nostalgic as well.
You're late.
I know, I'm really sorry about it.
And where is Paolo?
Send in Paolo.
Regina mia, buongiorno.
We're so pleased you could make yourself available to be here.
I'm sorry, I just have to pause there and say, how radiant is Julie Andrews? I was 17 years old when we made this, and so I hadn't met as many people yet in my life. And so I knew Gary Marshall was really special, and I knew Julie Andrews was really special. But now sitting here watching this from this point of view, they're two of the most magical people I have ever met. This was the film that changed my life. Like, it's so weird to watch it. I haven't seen this movie in maybe 20 years, and I'm a little bit speechless with this one. It's very emotional to see it.
Like a wolf. He's all right.
Who remembers this trope? I know they still do this, not as much as they used to in the early 2000s, but I think it's so funny when they have this beautiful, actually, I take that back because they recently did this in the movie Send Help with Rachel McAdams, where they put this beautiful movie star and they're like, oh my God, they change up her hair. They put glasses on her face. And all of a sudden, she's supposed to be ugly. What? I think it's so funny. It's the same with The Princess Bride. Her hair is big and puffy. She's wearing glasses. Oh my gosh. But it's like, you're trying to tell me that Anne Hathaway isn't beautiful? Like, come on. Come on. I think the most outrageous one is Funny Girl. Don't get me started on Funny Girl. You're telling me that this Barbara Streisand, is ugly? The whole time she is on that screen, everybody is talking about how ugly she is. I can't. I can't. I think this is a trope that we need to find something better for, because just giving a girl glasses and not perfect hair. Oh, and the layering. Sometimes they did this in Send Help. They put frumpy clothes on Rachel McAdams and like gave her layers so she looked bigger, I guess. I don't know. It's just, there's got to be a better way. Definitely.
So he really had to break the brush in this. They pre-broke the brush and it was supposed to break kind of easily, but it didn't quite happen. So that's me and Larry kind of improvising, trying to get it to go. And I don't remember if the owl was real or if I was just buying him some time. But the brush was being stubborn that day.
Take this, and give you
A princess.
like, literally, she has glasses on and she's making this face. And now she's hideous. I mean, is this scene iconic? Yes, absolutely. Is her makeover iconic? Yes, absolutely. But really, all they did was straighten her hair and take off her glasses. That's it. That's it. And suddenly, she's a princess. I'm very passionate about this, in case you haven't noticed.
I don't know what to say. It's like it's almost too big to... It felt so big at the time, and it wound up being so big, and it's kind of just gotten bigger as my life has progressed. So this is total fusion of life and work and all the things. And I'm just so proud to be in this movie. I'm really glad that I'm that girl right there.
I love that. I absolutely adore that. I find that a lot of the time, people who have had really long careers, especially careers as children, that they don't appreciate the beginning of their career. I can, of course, understand wanting that separation of you as an adult and you as a child. I can definitely understand that. You do find that a lot of actors do kind of try to distance themselves from their big break or that role that kind of opened all the doors for them. Even if it isn't something that is as iconic as The Princess Diaries, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it sometimes makes me sad. And I mean, I of course can understand, especially people who are child actors, like we have no idea what was going on at that time. And especially the child actors who maybe didn't choose this career, were just kind of forced or pushed into it. I can get that, of course. I guess these roles sometimes mean so much more to us, the audience, and it can be a little, I guess, illusion shattering when you see an actor talk negatively about a role.
This is foul.
The Devil Wears Prada is probably one of the most perfect films out there. I don't care who you are. If you call yourself a cinephile, I'm talking to you men who like Interstellar. If you appreciate Interstellar, I feel like you should also appreciate The Devil Wears Prada. Those might be fighting words, but I mean it.
Let her see.
I just realized this is another film where they're trying to say that Anne Hathaway is ugly. Oh, Hollywood.
Emily is so brilliant in this movie. I mean, period, but like also she's just like insane. Sorry, I just have to pause. Just so you understand, all of you have seen this movie way more recently than I have. It's been, if not over a decade, maybe 2 decades since I've seen this movie. So this is amazing.
Yeah, I came to New York to be a journalist and sent letters out everywhere and then finally got a call from Elias Clark and met with Sherry up at Human Resources. And basically it's this or Auto Universe.
So you don't read Runway?
I was there the first time Meryl walked into that set, and I saw the way she respected the work of our production designer, but also like crafted it into something that felt more the way she saw the character. And I was such a sponge around her. I just wanted to absorb everything the way she did it. Look at that wig.
That's a wig? See, I've said this in another video. I think it was in my Kate Winslet video. Wigs in the early 2000s were so good. There's so many times where I'm watching a film or I'm seeing an interview from a film that was made in the early 2000s and they're talking about a wig and I'm just like, that's a wig? It's crazy. I had no idea this was a wig. I just assumed that that was her hair. I mean, does it not look like her hair? It's crazy.
Oh my God, Roy J. Helland, who is the next level at his craft.
And you have no style or sense of fashion.
Well,
And just look at my wonderful costume. I mean, I know the costumes wind up becoming more glamorous, but I have to say that is post-grad frump gorgeousness right there. I remember thinking the corduroy of the jacket felt like the right choice, and I knew that color sweater, the kind of bruised lilac, wasn't the most flattering on me. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm taking up too much time. Oh my gosh, reminiscing is fun.
That wasn't a question.
I was editor-in-chief of the Daily Northwestern.
She's being very
I also won a national competition for a college journalist with my series on the Janitors Union, which exposed the exploitation of...
When you were shooting this film, did you have any sense for how huge it would become?
Yeah, I did. Not as huge as it's become, but I just had, it had a magnetic quality to me that I had to be a part of it. Not this, though. Not the way that it's just sort of woven into the culture now and it's become such a touchstone for so many people. I didn't realize it was going to have such a lasting impression, so I didn't realize it was going to be leave such a legacy.
And I'm pretty sure, I think I saw in another interview that she was like the 6th or 7th choice for that role. Crazy. Dark Knight Rises.
Sorry. I remember every second. I remember every second of all of this, but I remember every second of this.
It is Mr. Wayne, isn't it?
I'm so thrilled I'm in this movie.
You wouldn't beat up a woman any more than I would beat up a cripple.
Oh, that's such a good edit.
Sometimes exceptions have to be made.
Oh man, I worked so hard on this backflip.
Good night, Mr. Wayne.
I love her body language in this film. I feel like the way she carried herself in this role is so just outstanding. The switch up of her when she's just the maid and then switching to Catwoman, it's so good.
Christopher Nolan came to me at the beginning of production and he said, I'd like you to train very hard for this. It has nothing to do with anything except that I would like you to do as many of your stunts as possible, as much as of the fighting, anything that, isn't like a ridiculously special skill set, like riding the bat pod. I want to be you. And I want you to be able to do it every single take, and sometimes we film these sequences for 3 days. And I said, sign me up, no problem. And so I went straight to the gym. And up to this point, this was the hardest I'd ever trained for a role physically. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was everything to me growing up. So when I found out that there was a chance for someone of my generation to play Selena Kyle, I was just like, I'm with Christopher Nolan in this franchise that was so unlike anything that had ever been. I wanted to do her justice. And it's kind of cool to see it right after those first 2 roles where I was playing such kind of younger women who were a little insecure and unsure of themselves. They're stuttering a little bit more. And to see the scene begin that, and then that oops happens.
Yes, very much.
Oops.
Yes.
Nobody told me it was uncrackable.
I'm kind of amazed that this happened and that's me. That's really cool.
I love that. And yes, absolutely. That was such a different role for her. It's nothing like anything she's ever played before. And I don't think she's ever played anything like that still. A lot of her characters before this were very meek and unsure of themselves. And then to have this woman who was so captivating and knew who she was, so sure of herself, and just like her posture, the way she holds her body, it's so different. Such a good character study. Her talking about how seriously she took this role, you can tell. You can see it from the way she handles herself in this character. Les Mis. Okay. I'm going to brace myself now because we know that I'm a little sensitive, we'll say, when others are crying on screen. I tend to start to cry myself. I know, but I'm going to brace myself now. So, prepare myself.
There was a time when love was blind and the world was a song. And the song was exciting.
I just feel really bad for her. So my mother played this part.
I didn't know that. To get to share something like that with your mom, that's really special.
And we were talking about it, just the song and the interpretation. And I told her that I sort of imagined, when you're watching a match go out and you just hope it stays alight, but it shrinks. And you just want it to hold on, but it doesn't. That's what this song is for me. It's the extinguishing of a flame, which is just so sad. So when I see that, I'm watching someone's life like drain out of them. So it's hard to watch.
There are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather.
The thing that was so
It's already happening. I'm sorry.
magical about singing live is that you're in some ways the conductor and the performer at the same time. Like right at the end, you can see I kind of felt some emotion come up and I took a few extra breaths. If you're on stage or in maybe a larger number, or if you're doing it to a track, you have to decide all of those things in advance. And so a spontaneous thing occurring like that, it might not make it into the movie. And so being able to do it live allowed us a certain amount of emotional freedom. It also demanded quite a lot of technical precision. I found the process fascinating. It was hard, but that's the kind of hard that you pray for.
I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living.
Russell Crowe was such an important part of the process because he would have us over on Friday nights and we would sing in front of each other. And that was such a huge part of breaking down nervousness and fear and us getting used to just being this film family, this cast, this ensemble, where singing was just as normal as talking. I don't know that they've done a live sung musical since.
They have. Very much have. Les Mis kind of started this. I would dare to say Anne Hathaway kind of started this because of, like she said, that rawness that came from singing on set, from not singing to a track to actually singing in the moment and feeling those feelings. And then, of course, her winning the Oscar. They have very much tried to do this multiple times after. They're trying to kind of replicate what they got with this, and not many have been successful, I will say. So yeah, but I mean, movie musicals are always so difficult. I think movie musicals just don't translate the same way as musicals on stage do. And I don't know what it is. There's just something about a musical that started on stage. When they then put it in movie form, there's some kind of magic that almost, not always, but a lot of the time is missed. And you don't see that with movie musicals that have only ever been movie musicals. And I will say it's more in the modern movie musicals. God, take a shot every time I say movie musicals. But yeah, it's something that is more modern, and maybe it has to do with production, because I mean, in the 60s, those musicals were so rich and vibrant, and I mean, that was one of the very pillars of Hollywood back then were musicals, and they had such beautiful sets, beautiful costumes, and it was such a production. And now it's just a little flat. It's not the same. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of musicals, why they're so fun and beautiful is they're elaborate. They have bright colors and just stunning costumes and really big dance numbers, right? So when you shrink that, you lose something.
It had never been attempted before, so I don't know. We went through something really beautiful.
The idea of you. Oh, I think this is the reason why she sat down with Vanity Fair to begin with. I think this is the film she's promoting, so
Surprise?
I did some online
that blue color looks great on her. That is her color.
sleuthing for a Solheim of Silver Lake, and well, I have this fairly large empty flat in London that desperately needs some artwork. So I was thinking maybe you could.
Okay. I'm wearing vintage Chanel in this, and that purple on the top became such an essential thread to my character because she is a gallery owner, and so she really responds like in an almost psychedelic way to color, and that color like led me through finding her. So much of this movie is about a woman's bloom at a stage in her life where where women are often told that we're going too dull, but actually she opens and learns more. And so the color palette in this movie was so important. And anyway, I'm just really enjoying seeing it.
I think that we have yet to really dive deep into how beautiful life can get from aging. I think that it's a topic that we've kind of strayed away from. There is kind of like the horrors of aging, especially with women. That is a through line, mostly because society won't let us age. So great. I love it. We all do it, but we're not allowed to do it. It's great. Super fun. Love that for us. But to see women be fully realized human beings, to be so much more than just a wife, a mother, that's it. Those are the two that we get. To see them be so much more is always so thrilling. It's so beautiful. I love it so much, and I challenge Hollywood to do it more. I challenge the industry in general to make more films about female friendship, to make more films about women after their 20s, to make more films about women who aren't just mothers. I crave it. We need it. It needs to be done. Will say, I mean, I haven't seen this film. Can't say if this is a thing, but like, I also challenge the industry to let women discover and come into themselves without a man. Just saying.
So these pieces were thrown by a fantastic potter we work with called Susan Habel.
She threw them at the wall?
No, that's what they call it when they do the work on the wheel. It's called throwing.
Right.
Right. This was the audition scene. We met with amazing, amazing actors for this role. And Nick kind of had the part from the second he just walked in. He was just it. He was everything we needed. We needed such a specific talent for this. Like, the movie needed it. He needed to be able to sing, act, dance. He needed to be charming. You needed to, I mean, we're so lucky that Nick Galitzine is here. I'm proud. I'm not someone who spends a lot of time looking back and reflecting. I work really hard to be present and to look at like kind of what's coming. So this has actually been a joy. And I'm really proud to have a filmography that makes me so happy and brings me so much pride. That's lovely. Thanks for watching.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't be proud of that career? Will say I'm a little surprised they didn't talk about Brokeback Mountain, mostly because it was one of the tapes that was beside her, so I just assumed they would be. But I am happy with what films they did talk about. And also I'm sure it was very difficult to choose which films to actually include because she's done a lot of beautiful work. That was, as always, thoroughly enjoyable. So interesting. I think Anne Hathaway has such an incredible career. She has a busy year ahead of her with two highly anticipated and major films coming out, The Devil Wears Prada 2 and Odyssey. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you aren't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you can stay up to date on new videos coming from me. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!